are my buddy until the end. Are we having fun yet?
Child's Play.
So Child's Play stars Aubrey Plaza, Mark Hamill as the voice of the Buddy doll, Chucky, and Gabriel Bateman as Andy. This movie tells the story about a little boy who receives a Buddy doll from his mom a couple weeks before his birthday as an early gift, and slowly but surely this doll starts to learn a few things that it should not, and it becomes evil. As the bodies pile up, Andy must now stop the doll once and for all before things go too far. Or any further, because killing people, that's already too far. Alright, we're finally here. This is the review I've been waiting to do since last September. The movie I've been waiting to see, to review, since last September when that first image dropped. I heard about this movie since last September when we saw that first image. We got the first, the website release and like December-ish. We got the first trailer in February. We got the second trailer. We got the TV spot. We got this image, that image, this screenshot here, a little snippet of Chucky's voice. Now, I avoided all of that except for the original couple of images and the first trailer. That's all I saw. I never heard the score for this movie when they released it. I never saw the TV spots. I never saw the behind the scenes footage. None of it, because I really wanted to go into this blind, and I'm so glad that I did, because I'm sure some shit was spoiled in those TV spots and behind the scenes crap that I didn't need to see. And this movie was in my top 10 anticipated films of 2019 at the #1 spot, and I finally get to go over it, so let's go over all the things that I like about this movie. First up, I really like the score, alright? I've said that in my other reviews, you can check them all out. I never know which corner to point at, but you can check them all out. I always mention the fact that there's a missing score to this franchise. You get one in Curse and Cult, and that's really it. And everything else is different. And this one, I feel like if they make more, we can keep. I hope they would keep this score, and I hope they do make more. But it sounds awesome. It's by Bear McCreary. I think he does The Walking Dead. I think he did Hellfest last year. He knows how to make a pretty decent score, and they do utilize this score a few times during like death scenes, the opening, and it's creepy, it's ominous, and it just sets the right tone. I think this movie has simply the best cinematography. It has quite a few good shots, things that you can make like a poster or your wallpaper on your iPhone. I like that the premise of this movie is different enough to make it its own. Remakes, if you go back to all the other remakes, the ones that you'll hear that people hate are the ones that literally remake the movie shot for shot. This movie is different enough to where it doesn't even need to be called Child's Play. It could just be like, Killer Doll Movie. Batteries Not Included. That was the original title for the 88 version. But it keeps enough elements of that first movie to qualify as a Child's Play, but also some things about Chucky, Chucky fans will not like. But as I think the movie does enough different to make it its own, and it's a great remake. It does what a remake should do. And there's some decent comedy in this movie, especially in the first 2 acts of the movie. Detective Mike Norris, he has a lot of the comedic lines, and even Chucky has like a one-liner in this movie. So if you're looking for that, you'll get one. And if you're looking for kills, this movie, the bodies aren't like stacked from the floor to the ceiling like 50 bodies or anything, what you might be expecting from that trailer when you see like the carnage going on. I think it's in the trailer where you see like the chaos going on at the store. The kills in this movie, there's a couple of cool looking creative ones, and like the setup is cool, it's different. One of them I think could make like a top 10 list if you made one. I like that one person in this movie that dies is actually nice. I won't say who it is, but Chucky's not just going after, shitheads. So it just adds more of a darkness to the doll. Like, he's just evil. He doesn't care who you are. You could be the nicest person in the world, he's going to take you out. And I like that when this person does die, there's no comedy attached to it. It's serious. And the other couple of deaths, there's comedy attached to it, and it's like a joke, like with the bodies or what happens with them. It's kind of like just a gag. There's over-the-top blood, things where like blood's just gushing, and it's like over the top. So if you're looking for blood, you're going to get it. I like that Chucky in this movie can control things. It's in the trailer, I believe. So still spoiler free. I will do a spoiler review after this. But Chucky can control things, and he does utilize as much as he can. They don't just insert ideas and never use them or use them to their potential. He does get to control things. You got like a Roomba thing, like is that what they're called? The things that like clean floors. In the trailer, he can control like thermostats and drones. So I like that. This adds to the doll's like abilities, and therefore it makes more sense why he's hard to take out, because he can control all kinds of stuff, your television. It just makes him a more believable threat, whereas in the first one when he's like attacking them and like just trying to grab them and they like can't push him off as if he weighs a ton. In this one they don't have any moments like that where he's like pinning a bunch of people down or anything and they're like, oh, he weighs too much. I also like the fact that this movie kind of addresses a couple of small criticisms that fans were pointing out as soon as it was like announced, like Aubrey Plaza, she's way too young to be Andy's mom. He looks like he's 13. They address things like that. She says like I gave birth to Andy when I was 16, so that's explained. And then Andy says, why are you giving me a doll? I'm like 12 or 13 years old. This shit, like this is so last year. Those are things that people always point out, like why is Andy getting the doll? He seems too old. Karen by Aubrey Plaza, she seems way too young to be Andy's mom. And they point things like that out. They crack jokes, and I think it's funny. I like that they added that stuff in here. I like that this movie isn't so, like, filled with so many callbacks, winks, and nods. Halloween 2018 had, like, a dozen. Some of them were cool, some of them were just like, oh, okay, we get it. This one, I tried to pay attention. I thought there was about to be, like, a little homage, but then there wasn't. But there is one thing that I know is direct like line from the first movie. It's not a spoiler, I won't spoil what it is, but there is one callback that I saw. And for the most part, I enjoy Chucky. You do get used to him. So Chucky is still creepy. I like that they keep him in the corners. They keep him like they have some cool shots where he's like, lurking over like Andy and he's being creepy and ominous and you don't know what he's going to do. He's kind of unpredictable. So I enjoy Chucky overall. I'm not going to say it's better than Brad Dourif because Brad Dourif had 7 movies to establish a character that we all know and love. So we have to give Mark Hamill a few more shots if we want to see who's better. I like his voice too. Like, I wasn't crazy at first. It's hit or miss. I don't love it, but I like that Mark Hamill makes it his own. And it's kind of childish and like innocent. He just sounds like, naive. He just wants to learn. But yeah, the voice is okay. It's not better than Brad Dourif's as of now. I don't know. We might get another movie and we'll see. Alright, now to go over the things I do not like or nitpicks. These aren't major things that hold the film back. I still enjoyed it. My mom says that this movie's better than the original Child's Play, but what does she know? I think the pace could drag for some people. In the first act, it does try to establish this chemistry between the mom, Karen, and Andy. And then we get to see Andy, like, bonding with Chucky. I'll throw that in my positives. I like that we actually get to see Chucky just like in the original one. Andy's like bonding with Chucky in that opening scene where he's playing and Chucky's watching the news and he's like playing with the hammer. He's bonding with Chucky. In this one, they're actually both bonding together. It's not like, one of them thinks they're both friends and the other one's like, yeah, whatever. In this one, they're both friends, and I like that they're actually connecting Chucky and Andy. I like that that's different from the original. Alright, back to the negatives. I jumped right back to the positives. Go back to the negatives. The first act can drag. It is trying to, like, build up that relationship between Chucky and Andy, build up that relationship between Karen and Andy. He meets the friends. They become friends very quick. Like, it even took me back. I was like, they have like just 2-sentence conversation and then they're like, all right, let's hang out. And it's like, just because he has a doll? It was like a very quick friendship that built very instantaneously. Just like in like Pet Sematary 2 when Edward Furlong, not Justin, became friends with that fat kid. And I was like, wait, you're friends with him? He watched you get your ass kicked. But yeah, I will say that the first act can drag some. I'm not saying it's a slow ass movie. It's like a 90-minute movie. It's your average runtime. You're not checking your watch like, oh, come on, where's the doll? Is he gonna be evil anytime soon? Now, the comedy, it does land here and there. It just depends who you are. Comedy is hard to like criticize because everyone's different. I myself am hard to crack, and I hate that about myself. I wish I had a funny bone where I could just crack up out loud. I didn't crack up at this movie, and that's good. It's a horror movie. It does have dark tones, but there's comedy that seeps into the third act here and there from Mike. I just feel like the comedy should have stopped at some point. It's kind of funny, in the first 2 acts and then just sprinkled here and there, but then at the third act, I felt like it should just remain serious, but they still try to be kind of funny. A little nitpick I will say is that the body count's not as high as I would have hoped or thought from the trailer. You do get a few kills, but overall it's not like a high body count, so you're not going to get that. And this movie does the cliche, like, make them dicks before you kill them thing. It's like, this person's the over-the-top dick, this person's a major fucking pervert, now it's acceptable to kill them. So it has that horror cliche where you have to make them an asshole before you kill them. And the doll look, I'm not crazy about it. I was never crazy about it, so my thoughts haven't changed on that. But it does kind of grow on you. Like towards the end of the second act, you're like, all right, I kind of, whatever, I'm used to it. Karen's boyfriend in this movie, I don't think that's a huge spoiler, is old and ugly, and she's hot. Why are you with him? Alright, makes no sense. Get the fuck out of here. And her chemistry with Andy, the mom, she's the young mom, the hot mom. Their chemistry, at first, it feels like they're brother and sister, just their lines with each other, the way they interact. I felt like I was watching a brother and sister, and not a mom and son. And then, once you get past the first act, they don't really talk or bond or do anything together after that. I'm not saying he hates his mom or anything. You do see in the trailer, Karen, she's in distress and she needs savings and he has to come save her. That's not a spoiler. Things that are in the original trailer are on the table. It's not off limits. It's not a spoiler. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not crazy about Karen in this movie. I like Karen in the original. I don't want to compare, but I will just say that Karen in the original, she's that mother who, and you see that love and passion for her son, and you root for her. And this one, it's just like Karen's not in focus. She's not like the focused character. It's Andy and Chucky. But overall, I had a pretty damn fun time. This isn't the best Chucky movie. Some people might not even say it's a Chucky movie. Some people are gonna just discredit this and say blasphemy for even existing. Fuck that movie. Hashtag not my Chucky. I'm not in that camp, and I don't get it. Like, I am a lifelong Chucky fan. Started watching when I was like 5 years old. So I think that I could say that this movie, I think it qualifies as a Child's Play. So I say when it comes to Child's Play 2019, that you should go out and buy it. Support this movie. Go see it at the theater so we can get more. It doesn't really set up a sequel too much. I mean, you could get more because any doll could go haywire. Any doll could be programmed to be evil. Anything could happen. We could get more. I hope we do. Those are my thoughts on the Child's Play remake. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Hit this like button over here. Support this video. Tell all your friends about me. You can follow me on social media if you wish to do so. And please consider becoming a subscriber today. That's a hard word for me to say. Just by clicking on my cartoon face in 5 seconds to see more. And until next time, I'll see you soon.